I want you guys to understand that this is all very simple. A lot of times we confuse things like the words easy and just, you know, it is easy if you apply simple focus and lock in. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all, this YouTube thing, it's hard. It's not easy. There's gonna be things in your life that kind of get in the way. There's gonna be things as far as work that get in the way. But if you set clear, achievable goals, and that applies to anything in life, it doesn't necessarily have to be YouTube, it doesn't have to be finance, it doesn't have to be fitness. If you set realistic, achievable goals that can define your success, you know, you can be successful at anything you put your mind to. It doesn't have to necessarily be YouTube. I'm using YouTube as an example because this is something that I'm actively working on. You know, it could be work, it could be fitness, it could be money. You know, I got nothing against money or fitness or anything you're working on. You got to create a plan. You got to plan, let's say you're gonna post 2 times a week, 3 times a week, 4 times a week. You need to just dial in. Stop watching these motivational videos and just not doing nothing with them. You know, you're giving those videos views, and the thing is, you're getting that dopamine fix, and you're, you know, that's great, but it's all about what you do, you know. And you could use your notes app, you can do, you know, you can take calendar events, but if you don't think ahead and actually lock in and do what you say you're gonna do, it's just a complete waste of time. And, you know, I'm not talking to anybody directly, I'm just being honest, and these are the things that I've told myself. You know, there's some times where I get, you know, I'm in consistent. I got the frequency. I'm on this treadmill. I'm running. I'm moving, right? But sometimes, you know, we get distracted, or we start to compare ourselves to others and things like that, and that's what has happened to me in the past. But if you set achievable goals and you're consistent, and you actually set a plan, and you know what, sometimes you get in that mode, right? You get in that mode where you're excited and you're in it. What you can do is batch edit, batch create, do those things, right? You know, film multiple times. Film you in a spot, you're in a day where it's really, really sunny or really, really nice, or, you know, just film multiple different videos, change POVs, carry an extra shirt. You know, these are things that help you save time. Life gets busy. Life gets super busy, you know, and sometimes you can't. It's okay, right? Life gets busy. Do multiple videos in one session. You know, choose a realistic schedule. You know what I'm saying? Choose a realistic schedule. You can be, you know, consistency and frequency work together and help you. You know, if it's once every 2 weeks, that's realistic. If it's once a day, when you have time and you got 15 minutes, you know, I got time right now. I'm sitting here. I was working on something, and I was like, you know what? I can turn on the camera. I have these ideas. I wanna, you know, I want to be able to just maximize my time. And if you start in these realistic times and make things easy, batch edit and create a realistic, even if you got to get into the calendar and set a calendar and schedule blocks of times. A lot of people like to have a schedule just like they have a work schedule to do things. Do that, you know. And I'm talking about these things because this is on my mind, and I think a lot of times I'm comfortable when I talk about what's on my mind, right? You can make templates or create systems to generate consistencies. You can reuse intros, but just change the way you speak in those intros. You can take outros, and obviously you want to have a consistent outro to line up with your brand. But you can take a moment while you have your phone. This thing right here is we talk about how great it is and how we use it. Take your phone, create outros, create descriptions, create titles. We sit so much on these devices. You know, we sit on them all the time. You know, start to consume content around your niche. Consume content around your niche to get fresh and new perspective. These things make it a lot easier because it streamlines your production. it allows you to admire these creators that are within the space, so that way you can figure out new ideas. You know, you can join Discord groups, community groups. You can follow subscribers. You know, you can subscribe to people to get ideas. Communicate in the comments to get those, you know, get that conversation, get that realistic dialogue. You know, and I know this is something that I have an issue with. I'm always looking at the numbers, right? If you know, you can look at the numbers, but sometimes you need to not worry about the wins. You won at something. Let's say you had a great video and it performed or something like that. That's great, but we need to worry about, the job is not done. The job is not done. I never forget when Kobe Bryant said that in the playoffs. You know, job's not done. You need to you won, all right, great. Let's lock in on the next one. Let's lock in on another one. Let's take these steps that I mentioned in the beginning of this video and rinse and repeat. You gotta remember why you wanted to do this. You have to ask yourself. And that's what I've been telling myself. I have to ask myself, why did I do this? Why? You know, because if you take what I said in the beginning of this video and you rinse and repeat it, your why will align with it. Listen, I appreciate you guys watching this video to the end. I just had this on my mind. I had a few moments while I was working and I wanted to turn on the camera and talk to you guys. You can take these moments where you don't have time and make time, you know, and come up with an idea, come up with a video, come up with a hook. Take the time that you're in your car commuting. Be creative. You know, there's tons of ideas. If you take those things that I mentioned in the beginning of this video and use that as a template, you'll never run out of ideas, or even come up with even better ideas from what I have mentioned. You know, anyway, I'm rambling now, but let me know if I missed anything. Let me know if you have any ideas. Let me know how you know, work in a space where you run out of ideas and come up with new ones. I know I'm rambling. I'll talk to you guys later. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Peace.